Holy cow. David, what year is it? What time is it? Where are we? What is
I don't
going
know.
on?
A lot of things have happened. We had COVID, we had AI, we had just everything.
Our last live stream was what, 2021? I can't
It's
believe
been
it.
a long time. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad to be back here with you, doing our live stream again. We're here to celebrate the launch of CodePen 2.0, to also do some live coding and to have some fun together. But yeah, the last live stream was 2021, but we've done a few things since then. We've actually been on 2 episodes of Web Dev Challenge. We did one just last month that was super fun. Code TV hosted us out in Portland, and we got to build a spectacular landing page with GSAP. The link to that is in the chat,
Yeah.
and we'll have that available elsewhere. But that was a super cool experience. Tell them a little bit more about what we made.
Yeah, so it was a web dev challenge, and the ones that they do are super well produced, they're super fun. And this one, the challenge was to make the best landing page ever. And so Steven and I thought, you know what? Let's make a literal landing page and get as literal as possible. So we donned our spacesuits and we made a lunar landing page describing each of the lunar missions in an interactive game. So you could actually land on the landing page. What a concept, right?
Imagine that. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you can actually go to lunarland.ing to play the game for yourself. Let me refresh that because it's got such a cool intro animation with the lunar landing text. And then when you launch, you go into this classic lunar lander style game where you attempt to recreate the moon missions. And there's some little Easter eggs and stuff in there. And it's rather difficult.
Yeah.
But you can always simulate the landing to just have fun with it that way.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was a great experience, and through that we made some plans for us to get back on the live stream here. So
Yeah, and we're still figuring it out, especially with today. And we would love to hear from you to see what you would like to see from us. I know things are definitely changing in the web world, and Stephen is going to talk about some of the big changes in CodePen 2. But yeah, so it might not be a coding one letter at a time live stream unless you really want to see that. But we just want to continue the mission of teaching you everything there is to know about web dev, front end dev, and the really cool, exciting things that you could build with HTML, CSS, and a little bit of JavaScript.
that's right. So I've been heads down working hard. I know you have too, but I've been working. I work at CodePen, and we have been working hard trying to get the version 2 of CodePen out there for everyone. And today is actually the launch day for it. You've been able to play with it for months now, but it's officially public. I don't know. I don't know what you would call it, but this is the official release day of it. And so we've got a brand new homepage. If you go to codepen.io/2, http is codepen.io/2 in the chat. That'll get you to the new homepage where you can learn a little bit more about what makes CodePen 2.0 exciting and special. I made a lot of great animations for for the page, so you should definitely check that out. But it's a complete rewrite of CodePen, the editor, and so whenever you get into the actual editor, you'll notice a few things are a little different. We've got sidebar now with different panels, specifically a files panel when you first land, which is pretty awesome because you're not limited to just HTML, CSS, JS like the old pen editor. but you can actually add more files. Especially if you're pro, you can get up to 300 files in one pin, which is super super cool. And the collab mode has gotten a big rewrite. It's really cool to work together at the same time, but you can also work together asynchronously with collab mode. So David and I have our keyframers team, so we're able to both edit the same pin, but we could also invite people in to work with us, and there's advanced privacy options for sharing all that as well. But today, we're gonna actually build something together. What's our plan here, David?
So, you know how I've been talking about state machines for a while? And don't worry, we're
You?
so yeah, so we're going to be building a state machine, but we're not going to be building a state machine. And I know that that sounds contradictory, like an impossible state, but we're bringing things full circle because in the last few years, CSS has evolved a lot. There's a lot of really, really cool new APIs. In fact, we've like if you've seen our previous Keyframer streams, we've used a lot of Sass, and we no longer need to use most of that or any of that Sass just because a lot of those features have been subsumed by the newer CSS APIs, which seem to be evolving almost weekly or monthly. It's insane how much you could do with CSS nowadays. And so I thought that we would challenge us to actually building a state machine, a literal, graph with nodes and edges that you could drag around with just CSS and HTML and maybe the tiniest bit of JavaScript, but mostly just those two, just to highlight some of those new CSS features.
That sounds like quite a challenge, but I'm excited.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done work like this, so we've missed quite a lot in modern CSS advancements. So it's going to be fun to actually see what's possible now. Whew.
Yeah. So, and I'm excited to dive into this new editor. Maybe you could give me some hints and tips. I see your avatar over there. I see a lot of familiar things,
Yeah,
but it looks like we could add files too. It says 3 out of 300 files,
that's
and
right.
that's because CodePen servers are still running on small hard drives, so it can't really fit that many files.
Very, very small hard drives. No, the 300 files limit, that's for the top pro tier, and that the files themselves can be basically anything. Like you can have your images and media all in one pin, and one of the best things about that is you can actually do like full sites. So you can have multiple pages and all that kind of stuff, and then you can deploy these sites. So whenever you deploy a site, you'll get a random URL at codepen.app, and then you can see your deployed site there. But you can also add a custom domain, which I did earlier today. I purchased the domain statemachine.me. And so if I've added that in here, it gives me the a record settings that you need to add, and I've got that set up. And once that DNS is fully resolved, then that'll work. But yeah, it's pretty cool that you can actually deploy your pins now and get things going that way. But let's make some actual state machines here.
All right. Yeah, let's do it. So, yeah, this is man, this feels all familiar and all new at the same time, especially there's a lot of CSS things. We might be learning things live on the stream just because so much has changed in CSS. I'm basing what we're going to be doing on an article actually that Stephen found. And this article actually showed us how to build these graphs. And I sort of want to improve on that, but we're going to be doing things step by step. And we could link the article later.
Yes,
or no?
I'll post that in the chat. Timani has done some really amazing work with with anchors and connecting nodes. There's a link to this article in there, showing the incredible math to basically link different nodes using just CSS. The only JavaScript in here is for dragging around the point so you can see the dynamic connections. So we're hoping to learn a little bit more about this technique and how we can make a state machine-like graph with that.
Yes. All right. Whoa. Let's give this S1A. So what I'm doing right now is I'm making a stage, and I would have called it a canvas just because that's what I'm used to, but stage fits better here just so that we're not confusing the different things. I'll give it a couple of IDs over here, and actually I think the best, in my opinion, the best hello world example for a state machine is a traffic light, and this allows us to make it really pretty. Stephen can go crazy with however he wants to style it too, and we could add some fun animations. But yeah, so I'm going to make this red and this one green, and yeah, so these are going to be our basic state machine states. But let me think. Yeah, so besides that, I'm going to, the only JavaScript I'm thinking of using is JavaScript for actually dragging these boxes around, because what good is a state machine visualizer if you can't actually drag the things around? I'm looking at you, Mermaid. Just ugly layouts, but whatever.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Mermaid's super cool, but it's definitely opinionated in its approach.
I have a question. Do we not get autocomplete here?
There should be some autocomplete for things. Query selector all is usually good to go.
Let's call this box. I'm just all right. So box dot, and could you do? You know what? I'm going to be asking questions as we do this. Can we do TypeScript in here, or?
We can, but if you're going to try to add like an external library, you won't be able to use. Okay, then yes, you can use TypeScript.
How do we change that?
So that is actually really cool. This goes into how CodePen processes your pins now. So if we do a simple rename of script.js to script.ts, that is going to do a few things. That's going to add something called a block, which you can see here in the blocks panel. Whenever David stops typing, it's going to add the TypeScript block for us, and that's going to handle all the TypeScript processing. Right now, it's giving us a bunch of warnings about everything because David hasn't added his types. And then and that actually, does the TypeScript processing to turn it into JavaScript so that it is actually ready to go in the browser. There's a ton of blocks available right now that you can get into and use, mostly based on the existing languages from CodePen, just to give you compatibility. But we'll be adding more as you go, and you can get stuff like prettier and linting and all that in there as well. If you'll notice, the file up here, instead of index.html, it's index.pin.html, which is a trigger for this classic block. So if you're coming from CodePen of old, you're used to not seeing any of the HTML scaffolding. But now, since you can have multiple files, multiple pages, all that kind of stuff, you can do a full HTML file if it's just index.html. But if you want the simple, no, head and meta tags and like all that kind of stuff, you can just use index.pin.html, and it'll handle linking up the style and the script tag and all that for you. So you can just focus on the user content. All right, so David here, he wants TypeScript, but he's enabled TS no check. So
yes, but I wanted that for autocompletes, but it's not giving me all the autocomplete stuff that I want, which is it's fine. It's totally fine. Want to see a cool? Oh, geez.
Sorry, I'm breaking things here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just doing a quick review of it, seeing what.
Yeah, I do wish I had more like in VS Code. I'm used to doing like control space and seeing what my options are, but honestly, we could turn the TypeScript off or just no check it, and then
no check it for right now.
You know, yeah. All right, so first cool little tip, and this, you know, I guess doesn't matter nowadays anyway, but did you know that add event listener and remove event listener are global functions? You don't need to attach them, and so when you do that, it's attached to the global the DOM, so the HTML object itself, or whatever the root element is. I never understood if the root element could be anything other than the HTML element, but I guess it could. But yeah, so you can just do add event listener or remove event listener just raw, which is,
well, I think that's because they're on the actual window, and so window.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the window. Yeah, that's. But yeah, you don't need to have it attached to anywhere. But I'm just gonna do it to the entire window just for fun. So what I did here is I am attaching some event listeners to each of our boxes here. And so now if you try to drag them around, you're going to see that they could actually be moved. Which simplest thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then we could add a little bit of styling for like if the box is active, then cursor grabbing. And so now you could see the cursor actually grabs. If you want, you could add some hover styles, things like that. And so by the way, these boxes, they are divs, but if you are clicking into them and I think that's automatically focusing them, they are in HTML and CSS in the DOM really considered active. I guess we should add user select none, just because it does get annoying when you're selecting text while dragging these things around. But this is our first step towards a towards a state machine builder. So
nice.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah, there's actually properties for like making draggable things, and like you can get it, like the accessibility of everything is tricky, but you can get into pretty deep into that. But with just the basics here of pointer move and pointer up, and setting directly the left and top value, that's pretty great. Nice simple approach.
All right, so now we are adding anchors. And so anchors, these are one of the big new CSS thingies. And actually, so there's this syntax over here, the type custom ident. I do have to look up exactly what that means, but this is what's going to enable stuff. I know that's not a very good explanation, but that'll have to do for now.
Anchor name. Yeah. So it's pulling the attribute name from it, but we don't have that attribute yet.
I think.
Or what?
Yeah, I think we need
attribute ID maybe.
Yeah, I think we need to add these a little bit, or add them first. So here I'm going to. So in our stage we have our boxes, but I'm also going to add a badge, and then I am an anchor. So this badge we need a little bit of styling for, and I'm going to add that down here. So let's see. It's also going to be position absolute. So I'm glad that my normal muscle memory things still work with
Uh,
you know, yeah.
it's pretty
Okay.
amazing. Have you used inset yet?
Tell me about insets because I feel like I've used it in passing, but not
So
really fully
for something
understanding.
like badge, where we're positioning absolute it, instead of doing like top, 0, left 0, or whatever, you can just do inset, inset 0, and that has the same effect as setting all of those properties, top, left, bottom, right, with just one. Um, that is super helpful when you need to just make an element like fill an area.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And while you're typing that, I'm going to share the live preview link for everybody in the chat, so they can actually watch our pin update as we go. If you want to check out the code, see David fill it with blue. Do we need our stage to be position
yeah.
position relative?
No, you don't have to do. So one of the things that I did back when we were doing our streams was just doing position relative on everything. I later learned that that was a bad practice. In fact, I always knew that that was a bad practice, but it felt so good at the time. Wow. But I've learned to just not do that.
So we've got the anchors. So you're using anchor name, but where is anchor name coming from?
So anchor name.
The attribute name.
Yes, the attribute name. So I have to add that over here. So I'm just going to give it name equals. Oh wait, no. This goes on the box. Okay, so now here's what happens. If you drag red around, you're going to see that the badge follows red. It's not the best placed, but it does follow it. So
that's super cool. Yeah. So you've got the anchor. Right. So we're setting the position for badge with top and left using anchor top and then anchor left, which I think, let's see, anchor position anchor.
And so yeah, this is just a demonstration of how the anchors are going to work when we do this. So the target declares a name, and then, because we have a typed attribute, we could read that name straight out of the HTML, and then, anchor would resolve to a coordinate on the anchor's box, and anchor size, to its dimensions. So we could do some little bit of math here to sort of position that a little bit better. Let me see, where's my badge? So left.
I think I broke
like
it.
If we say that this is.
So I'm trying the position anchor syntax, but I think that's not quite working. Let me see.
Oh,
is it L2 or 1-2?
I think it's L.
Okay.
And in fact,
that's
I could probably rename those to something else.
That's probably my problem. Hey, there we go. Look at that. Position anchor. You don't even have to do the crazy calcs and stuff. You can set the one anchor there and then reference specific positions and use align self to help affect the actual positioning of it.
Yeah. right, so in fact, we could just name that A. I don't know why I did. So in my notes A, so this would be lesson 2. So that was why L2A. But yeah, we'll just name it A. So yeah, our anchor is attached. And yeah, again, anchors are still new to me, but they are very essential in what we actually want to do here. So let's say that I want to position that anchor at the top center. So if I remember correctly, what we could do is we could do some translation. So we could do translate -50, -100%. And this is actually something that, you know, that became new when we were at the tail end of our previous keyframer things, where we had actual, like, the translate, scale, etc. directly as whatever they're called, properties. So you didn't need to do transform or anything like that. You could just do it directly like that, which is really, really cool. So
yeah, that is a super helpful trick.
all right, let's see if this works. Oh, we have to calc this. And then, yeah, okay, cool. So we have it centered with some, and so that's why anchor size, like, man, that is such a cool property, because we no longer have to use JavaScript to feed that in or anything that, you know, we were going to do. And then we could even say anchor.top minus like 1 rem or something like that. If you know me, you know that I love using rems for stuff. So this will just shift it. Oh, sorry, anchor AA top.
I think we can do without both of those.
Let's see.
Interesting.
All right. Why is it so tall? Okay, so, or sorry, well, why is it overlapping the red? That is my question.
Is it overlapping the red?
Looks like it.
I am not seeing that. It's on top of the red for me.
Right, but I want there to be some gap between the red and the anchor.
If you give it a little bit of margin, I think that will do it. I'm not positive.
No. Okay, so the anchor a top minus, let's say, let's try to do like 2 rems, see what happens over there. Well, anyway, you get the idea. So all right, so let's actually, this is where it gets pretty tricky, which is where a lot of the fun happens. So we're going to actually draw some lines. But in CSS, it's not SVG, so you can't really draw lines, but you can sort of fake it. But there's also some new CSS properties that you could use to do this. So let's see, let's write a little bit of code first. And thanks everyone for joining us in the chat. We are building a state machine visualizer, sort of. We're basically building a state machine with pure CSS and HTML, and we're only using JavaScript for dragging things around. So, you know, it'll be fun.
Exciting.
Okay. So our rectangle, that's what I'll call it. You know, I still have the npm library name that I meant to use for like making it really easy to deal with rectangles, like get bounding clients rect and everything that you could do with it. And the library name is called getRect, which sounds very obscene, but it's for getting rectangles. Like there's nothing obscene about that. It just sounds bad. And I was really surprised it was available, so of course I had to take it. Let's see. Oh yeah, so this is going to be anchor size divided by 2, and then the left is going to be, here, I'll just copy paste that. So anchor, and I think actually
the idea of Alan in the chat says 10 out of 10 naming, no notes.
Yep.
Fan of Get Wrecked.
Yep. Yes, Command D still works. That's awesome. Okay. Cool. Let's see. Okay, so again, we're using Anchor stuff. So what's really cool about Anchor is that these are live values. So I think I talked about this before. They're live values. They make it really easy to just dynamically update based on these styles. So I'm going to name this B over here. And that way, let's see, things don't work yet. So investigating. But basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to draw a rectangle between A and B. And
what's the property we need here? Is this going to be bottom and then this going to be right?
Good question.
There it is. Yeah. I got it.
So now we have a rectangle that almost works. Almost being the key word. But you could see that this rectangle is based on the the anchor properties, and we're using the inside keyword. So yeah,
that's pretty cool. If
again,
red goes down below,
doing this.
if red goes down below green, then that causes a little bit of a issue.
Yes, but the issue is on purpose. So we're going to actually get really clever here to sort of fix that issue. Basically, like you were saying, if box A is below box B, then the top and bottom cross, and so the rectangle clamps to 0 height. And so that's why you get that sort of glitchiness over there.
Right.
Yeah. So, things that I learned, for this, we have the inside keyword. So, instead of naming a side, inside actually resolves to, the anchor's edge on the same side of the property that it's used. So top edge and top, left edge and left. So it's like one of those CSS conveniences that just makes a lot of sense. Isn't that cool? So you don't have to specify the side. You could just say inside.
I like that.
Yeah. Also, the anchor size shorthand. So without an argument, it returns the dimension. So like the height for vertical properties and the width and horizontal ones. So yeah, it's one of those shorthands where, you could do things manually, but if you work with Anchor enough, then these become pretty handy.
Did I do this right?
Are you a dark mode person or a light mode person? Because this looks pretty...
I typically go dark mode, and
all right, let's do that because this is blinding me.
But fun fact, there is a light mode in CodePen now. If you hit Command I, it'll invert the site theme, and then you can go in and set a light theme if you so desire. So now it's inverted from our actual preview.
You did light mode in CodePen. I do not. That's great for you. I don't ever want to see what that looks like, but that's
believe it or not, some people like that. But you can find that under settings, theme and fonts. There's a site theme setting. You can match that to your system too if you prefer to toggle back and forth at a system level, like some kind of wild person.
Let's give this a nice color. That's not a nice color.
So what did I mess up with the top and the bottom? Oh, what did I do that right? No.
Figure it out.
Um, so we've got calc A inside, calc B inside. Like it's working.
Let me take a look. Oh, you're trying to get clever with the
Right,
variables.
right. Um,
I think maybe it doesn't work like that. Oh, because it's dependent on the property. So I don't think you could do the whole variable
oh, I can't
cleverness
do it
there because
dynamically.
it's more sensitive, like the inside keyword. So I don't think it'll resolve correctly. So I
Hmm.
think how we had it before, even though it's a little bit more repetitive, might be best.
Well, we can still do the variables like that. It just seems like max and min aren't quite respected. Bottom, let's be inside. Left and right are working, but oh, there we go. Now it's working.
Nice. With our expected
Limitation.
limitation. But that's
Yeah.
fine. We will fix that pretty soon. All right. So, thinking about how to do this. Okay, yeah. So what we'll do inside of our rect, we will
While David thinks about that, fun fact, if you're not sure where your fellow collaborator is working, you can't really see it with the Keyframers logo down here, but we've got all the active collaborators shown down here in the footer. If you hover over somebody else's avatar, you can see exactly where they're working and click to go directly there. It's a big help from the previous collab setup where I had to just hunt for wherever you were working.
Yeah, that was fun. Okay, so I'm gonna draw a few boxes. Color pink. I'll just give it some random colors. So B will be orange. C will be turquoise. The hardest color
Could you
to
spell it right? I can never spell it
right. you have to think of it as a French person saying it, like turquoise or something. And then it makes more sense. All right, so let's see. I do have a little cheat sheet here because this is where it gets complicated, but it does get really, really fun. So each of these we'll call them direct, and I should use the descendant selector, but I didn't. But I could do this. I don't know. It's just a good habit. I don't like it when people do the lazy nesting where it's just selector space selector, because that means you're going to do any descendants, not just the child descendants. But for some reason, it's easier to type. And I get why that's the case, but developers are lazy, so they opt into that instead of using the direct descendant selector, which is that carrots over there. So that's just some basic CSS stuff. Okay. So let's see. So for each of these, I'm just going to do some before stuff. So the content is just going to be, let's just do the class just because I want to show some stuff. So position absolute, and just like Shaw talked about in set 0. Let's see. Oh, what happened here?
Sorry, that's just me.
Okay,
don't worry about it.
So dashed, I don't know, yellow, and then let's give it a little bit of padding just to make that look nice. Okay, so we have a bunch of rectangles. For some reason, I can't drag red. But I'm sure that...
I may have broken something.
No, that's fine.
Give me a
Okay.
sec. Yeah, what did I break?
So let's see. I'm
Just
back
remove
again.
a few
So we are
things.
going to...
That should
What'd you
work.
break?
There we go. Should be working now.
Okay, so X type. All right, you're gonna have to explain to me what this custom ident is, because I know it makes things work. I just forget exactly what that is for, and it is probably the ugliest CSS I've ever seen.
Yeah, so
Or
let
the
me
ugliest
look
thing.
that up here in Dash. It's a CSS data type denoting a string as an identifier. So it's basically just a way of like parsing the string so that it's understood as some kind of ID. So in these cases, we're pulling an attribute and converting that to something recognizable as like a anchor identifier, like we did up top with the attribute name.
All right, and then self y, count var y inside. There's so many things to learn in this. Oops. Anchor size var.
That's what was wrong.
Var variable. Okay. Can we drag stuff? Yes, we could drag stuff. So that's working. Oh yeah, container type size. That's a new one to me too. This whole container type size. So yeah.
Container type size. Oh, for binding it as a
So
container.
Remember container queries?
Mm-hmm.
Container type size, according to my research, turns an element into a container context that allows its descendants to evaluate container queries based on both its inline size and so its width and its height. So it checks both dimensions, which we do need to track both of them. Yeah. I'm just trying to get this to work before I talk confidently. Let's see. Okay, so
let's see if I broke anything. Looks like it's okay.
So we have top var self y, and then
I am currently setting up a local storage system for the box positions so that we can have them positioned in the same spot each time it refreshes.
this one is going to be B, B. So this is just going to be Y and X. But it doesn't work quite yet. But again, like I said, this is going to be the really tricky one, but I will make it work.
Is that working?
Just so we could, yeah.
Why isn't that working? Now it should be working. Haha, cool. Now whenever it refreshes, the position of the boxes should be preserved.
All right. This is the trickiest part. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure it out. Let's see. So basically, we're taking advantage of the bug. Remember the bug where the rectangle is 0 height? So basically, by using container size, or well, whatever that was, we could actually filter out the ones that happen to be 0 size, because there's 4 possible orientations. There's one where, like, given that red is in the center, green could be bottom right, it could be top right, top left, or bottom left. So what we're going to do is draw 4 boxes, and whichever one wins, that one is going to be the only one that's visible. So, yeah, I just need to fix a couple of things here. So first of all, we're not going to make rect position absolute. And then I think I screwed up. Oh, this should be BD. Okay. And okay, so now maybe we could see everything. I still can't drag stuff. I don't know why.
Did I break it again? Okay, it should be working now, but the positioning of those is not. Let's see. Are you able to drag?
Yes. All right, a couple more things I need to fix though. Let's see. Just double checking my work. So let's see. Just double checking. Sorry, these take the longest time.
Yeah. Hopefully I did not mess anything up.
No. I think that's you're good. Again, this is the trickiest part. Okay, so we have pointer events none on the rect, and then we have X and Y, which X attribute X, custom ident, okay, and then rect before. So let's just add this. So just for some debugging over here, and then rect position absolute self X. All right, so now let's do this. That's correct. Let's see. Okay. What else am I missing? Because these rectangles are supposed to attach, but they didn't. So, oh, hold on. Maybe that's why. Okay, because tracks layout position. Okay, and then top for the row, just say 55%. Okay, let's see. And then div class rect.
So if you double click the stage, then it should reset the position of the boxes.
Oh, that's your old trick. Okay, cool. So now we have something working. You can see a whole bunch of yellow over here, and in fact, I sort of want to just give these different colors so that we could tell the difference over there.
We did.
But we have a bunch of rectangles now.
So many.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But the
the
thing is,
outline. Let's see.
yeah. Here's the thing, though. We don't want to show all of these rectangles. Right now, you see 4 of them. So there's a wild, wild, wild trick. And I'm going to put it here, and it's going to be the craziest thing you've ever seen. So... Also, little feedback. When I do the comment thing, it doesn't take me to the middle of it. I don't know if you noticed the command / my curse.
Yeah, that's a bug in
okay.
CodeMirror that we've been trying to get patched. Okay, if style calc sign.
This is wild, but it's super cool.
Wow.
But all right. So before I explain this, drag red and green around and tell me what you observe.
Okay, so when green is below and to the right of red, I see A active. If green is to the left but below, I see B active. Green left and above, D. Green right and above, C.
Yeah, but you don't see the other rectangles.
Right.
And there's a reason for that. And it's that crazy thing that I just posted. Get rid of this so that we don't see that flash of blue. Okay, so let me explain this because this is my jam. I love this sort of stuff. First of all, there's a new CSS property, and it's that if like it's like one of those things that just makes a lot of sense, you know. If this, then that. Basically, all right. Let me format this just so it's a little bit easier to read, just because it is extremely wild. Okay. Overall, what this is saying is if whatever is in here is true, then the display is going to be none. We are going to hide the rectangle. So how do we determine? We use these crazy units: container query width, CQW, and container query height, CQH. Now, there's another new CSS function called sign. And sign gives us, just like math.sign in JavaScript, if it's positive, then it's going to be 1. And if it's negative, it's going to be -1. And if it's 0, it's going to be 0. So remember the bug that we saw at the beginning, where if like green is above red, then that specific rectangle, it's going to have a height of 0 just because of how it's constrained. So this will equal 0 if the rectangle is flattened, and we don't want flattened rectangles. So what we did in this is we created 4 rectangles that attach to different, inside points. Remember, each of the 4 cardinal not cardinal, but the 4 quadrants that we were talking about. And if any of those rectangles collapse, then we hide them. And it's the wildest thing. It's one of those things where like you would definitely have to use JavaScript back in the day to do that. But now it's just CSS. And so now we're getting somewhere. We have a rectangle that we could play with. Yes. So that's why. All right. So that was the trickiest part. And now let's have a little bit of fun.
So what is your plan now to use these rectangles for connecting these boxes? You thinking like a border? You got a background? Like what do you like to do here?
We are going to use shapes. So yeah. And I have some more crazy CSS for that, but there is a new CSS property called shape. So, or I say new, these things have probably been around for many months or years as of this recording, but
well, with anything CSS that's new, like if it's too new, you can't really use it because it's only in certain browsers or it's behind a flag or anything like that. So it's a new property, but it's actually available and relatively stable in multiple browsers. I always like to consult can I use for this kind of stuff. Looking for shape, CSS shapes, level 1. Well, that I think is a pretty ancient one. The newer syntax It's been around a little over a year now, 2025 for Chrome. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Firefox has it now too, as of February. So this is kind of like actual paths in SVG, right? Because you've got like line, move, and curve
In a
style
way,
shapes.
yeah, but
Um,
it's also a little bit different than SVG. It's weird, just fair warning. It is
yeah.
definitely weird. So
Well, once
here,
again, you can see the latest at statemachine.me. If you if you
wait,
are
it's
following along,
live?
it's
Like
live. This is
as we
deployed,
save it,
David.
it's live. That is
Yep.
wow. Okay,
Yeah. So
that's a
I
pretty
have
cool new feature.
right. So I have deploy on save active. So you don't even have to remember to deploy. It's just whatever the latest is. You can see it there as soon as we click save.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
All
So
right. So we're using border shape.
border shape.
And so again, we're using that CQH stuff. So where we're seeing if the height is less than the width, then we want to draw a horizontal line. The container query height. Remember, they could go in the negatives. Or sorry, it's not the negatives. It's just based on the shape of it. Anyway, yeah. And then let me see. Border shape. All right. So basically, we want to draw a line, and I'm gonna do that. Okay. And then once I do, we're like our goal is to actually see a line in there. So let me just double check. Oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's just have that rect. So we're going to do our border. We'll do just a 4-pixel border. Oops. 4 pixels, and then
Where are you? There you are.
we will do that. Okay, because we do actually need that border, and that border is going to be okay. All right, so this is going to be for our line. Solid. Let's just make it white, see what happens. Nope, it just gives us that border, so we do still have to do a little bit of work here to make it that the shape that we want.
Border shape. I'm not very familiar with. I'm looking that up. Oh, is it too new?
It might be.
Una has a good article on it. Border shape actually redefines the box itself. Interesting.
Wait, so that should definitely work. Okay, let's see. Oh. Okay. Please hold.
Border
We
shape.
have
Shape from. Oh my gosh. That's some tough syntax.
Yep. A lot of these are just wild. But it's fun. That's what matters.
I was thinking that a background gradient of sorts, calculating the angle of the actual gradient to make a line is also a feasible option for making a connecting point.
Yeah,
I don't know if it'll have the same fancy
I really
math as
want to
yours does.
explore this one. So, but yeah, so border shape, we're going to basically try to draw that line. Let's see if it
So
works.
you're doing forward line. So you've got a shape there. Where is S coming from? Do we have the S value?
No, we don't. Hold on.
That's probably what's up.
All right, let's take a look. Oh. Let's get the boxes a size. I think I'm missing that part. Oh yeah, we do have a size. The size is 80 pixels. So S, yeah, I meant for S to be the, where did I put? Let's see. We have B somewhere.
Where you might need to refresh. Oh, no, I see you now. I wasn't getting your cursor for a moment.
Okay.
S
there we go.
Hey.
That's what I was missing.
Look
okay.
At that.
So now it definitely looks really interesting. We have a line going through.
Have a line.
And we're using scale to sort of basically flip it. But you could see it's attaching. Which
that's pretty impressive.
Pretty
so it's attached to the center of each. Let's see, can we turn off that? Or no, so we still, this gives us the color based on that. But how do we get rid of the border on the rectangle itself? Do we have to adjust the shape?
Let me see why that's happening. I'm just happy that it yeah, that it's showing like that. Oh, maybe it's because it's on the after. I might have done that accidentally.
After?
Yeah, let's get rid of. There we go.
Hey. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the after was just for show, but and actually it is actually still important for demonstrating. Here, I'm gonna do after and then just border color yellow and border size 2 pixels, border style. I'm sure there's a shorthand for this, but my brain was not in shorthand mode. Okay, yeah. So that's why I did that. Yeah, just so that you could see the boxes where these come from. So we have a line, and each of these rectangles are sort of attached to each of those.
That's each of
those anchors. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You're gonna have to. So the line. So where did the S come from? That's just a fixed value based on the size of the box.
Yeah, because we do have the box. I should have organized this better, but box has a size of 80 pixels, and so we needed half of that
right
inside the rect.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, so we should be able to do a little calc. Size divided by 2. Get the same. Oh, I always forget to wrap vars in var.
Classic.
Do it. That's not working. Size 80. Oh, is it because it has the pixel value? What did you have before? You just had 40 pixels.
Yeah.
Weird. Why won't the? Oh, I guess that is a part of box. So we can move this, say box size. Box size, do that. There we go. That'll fix it.
All right.
Ooh,
now
what's happening here?
we're going advanced. So, before we had a linear one, and so now we call this ortho for orthogonal, so that's why it's ortho H and ortho V. But yeah, so we go from that var S, which is 40 pixels, to 0. We do a horizontal line to 50%, a vertical line to 100%, horizontal line to to basically the bottom or center bottom of that. It just works, okay? and because of our scaling stuff, this is just mirrored. So the way that the lines sort of work there is it's just a mirror effect thanks to our scale at the bottom.
Yeah.
So we've done this before in previous keyframer episodes where we just basically used scale to flip things around. Or I don't know if we've done that exactly. There's a couple of ways to do it. There's translate. You could you could rotate on the x-axis, rotate on the y-axis, but scaling, that's just another way of doing it if you scale to a negative number. And so that gives us our mirror effect.
That's so cool.
So
cool.
Now what I want to do, we're close to finishing this up. So I want to actually make this look a little bit like stately. So I want to add some edge labels.
Stately is the amazing product from David. You can find it at stately.ai. And this gives some really amazing visuals to state machines, but you can also fully manage your state machines in Stately, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
That's pretty.
And so
cool.
You could drag, drop, and create them visually, and then you could export them to code. And we're just like CodePen has come out with a new version. We're coming out with a new version of the editor, which is going to be much more powerful. And even if you don't use XState, it's going to be extremely useful because it's going to work with just a lot of things. So,
that's super cool. Excited to see that.
Okay, so let's see, figuring out how we could do this because everything needs to live inside of the direct thing, but I'm sort of doing a star selector to target everything, but I don't want to actually target everything, so I'm just going to do span. Yeah. Wait, why can't I tab span?
You should be able to. Do you have emit enabled?
Yeah. So I type span and then nothing. And maybe it's just S. Nope. Span just, yeah. Interesting. It must be an emit bug.
Yeah, it's working for me. It's expand with tab, but there's also other key bindings for it.
Yeah, I have a tab, so that's just weird. Okay. So yeah, we have this after 4 seconds thing, and so now what we're gonna do is we're going to sort of attach it to these boxes, and honestly I think that the easiest way is to just center it. So thankfully we're out of the woods, we're out of the crazy parts, so I could just do span, and this is just going to be position absolute. The top is going to be calc anchor x top plus anchor size height divided by 2. Oh yeah, this is wild. I don't want to make any mistakes here.
Don't Don't mess
There's
up.
okay. There's a lot of things going on over here. Divide by 2, and then that should be close parentheses, and cool. So, oh yeah, then we have to do our whole translate. -50%, -50%, so that it's perfectly centered on there. And then we could give it a background of like, let's see, RGBA. What is it? How do I do a? Oh wait, you know what? I'm just gonna. I'm not up to date with all the all of the stuff. With regard to like the color functions, there's a lot of new ones over here, but yeah, padding 0.5 frame. Okay, cool. So now we have that actual label on our edges, which is pretty cool.
That is cool. So that
Yeah,
that is what do you call that in state machines? That's the event.
so this is just the yeah, this is the event, and the event causes a transition between, you know, for example, green and red. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to try to make this a full traffic light. So and then I'm going to leave it up to Stephen to actually animate each of the lights. And you don't need to use a state machine. You could just use plain keyframes for this, but that is our name, so yeah. All right, so let me just go ahead and add a for some reason the whole traffic light colors escaped me. Yellow. I was like, blue? Nah, we have yellow, and so that we'll name that one C. Yes, purple is the color for yellow. That's correct.
I added that at another spot. Where is it? Oh, it's we just need to override that here. C is background yellow. Nice. Oh boy. Probably give it an accessible color there, though. All right, so you've added C, and the goal here is to connect C as well.
So my goal, my challenge for you is to actually animate the lights. So maybe give it a glow for green, red, yellow. I think we could actually change the colors so it's yeah, so it's a bit better. Like not so obviously
not so
CSS keyworded.
Sure.
And I'm gonna get rid of this I am an inker thing. We don't need that anymore.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were using that for some kind of state handling.
And we're back to our purple yellows.
I forgot hex. All right, so do we have... So we're just doing a keyframe animation to transition between all of them every 4 seconds?
Yeah, you could do that.
All right. So let's do a box target. We're going to do animation. I'm just working down at the bottom here. Activate. And right now the duration I'm just going to set to 4 seconds. And we'll adjust that in a bit. Keyframes. Activate. We'll go 0% to 20% is opacity 1. And then 30%, 100% is opacity 0.5. Let's just see what that looks like. Oh, probably have to move those out.
So that's going to be interesting. So
are you trying to connect them all?
yeah. So we have A and B, we have B and C, and then oops, hold on. So we have A and B, we have B and C. So we're just going full CSS variables here. And then we have C to A. And
nice.
Yep.
You see my amazing
there.
animation?
Yeah.
All
and
right.
then let's see. What else?
Let's say duration is going to be 4 seconds. We'll use let me see if I can wrap boxes. Can I wrap these and we are still okay?
Yeah, in fact, we could get rid of the yellow as well. I think we could kill that. It's a bit.
The borders.
Yeah. Although I think I still have the border on that. So actually, let me just display none. I don't know why. For some reason, I think commenting out just hides it, but display none. And then let's make all of these lines better colors. I think we could just do. Let's see, just white.
Yeah, it's still just using the special colors to differentiate. Probably need a brighter background on that. I see. Yeah, nice.
And actually, what I would do here is border.
Oh, I just did it.
What'd you do?
Added that in there.
Oh, and so what's that? Padding. Oh, yeah, I didn't see it down there. There we go. Maybe
burn into that area that pops up. That's only a collab thing. We're tracking that down. You shouldn't see that when you're just working normal. Okay, I'm going to turn off auto updating preview for a moment so that I can test my animation. Gonna inspect my elements here. See what's going on. Oh, need to do index times that times -1, so that's not a full delay like that. Refresh. Okay, so I've got box animation. Let's go to computed and see what's happening. Animation delay is 0. Animation duration. Uh-oh. Why is the duration 0? We should be able to use sibling count, right? There we go. Red, yellow, green. It does work. It does work. Using some more new CSS properties with sibling count and sibling index. I've been wanting those since writing the whole splitting library. Now it's mostly baked into CSS. And We could probably do something fancy with the rects too.
Maybe give it a glow or something.
Right, I'm just gonna do that for right now, and then let's do the same thing to give the same animation to both. .box .rect. Let's do that. Move that here. And let's see how that goes. Ooh, so close. I just gotta adjust the order here.
How can I see my options? Like if I type cursor colon and I want to see a list of options that I could get. Or is that not possible?
That autofill is not quite there right now. If you're looking for cursor grabbing, I think is what you're.
Or I just want the hand to give some affordance that you could grab them
Yeah.
hand.
Cursor grab, I think is it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Grab.
And then when it's active, we want cursor
grabbing, right?
Yeah. Okay, so this is grab, and then I don't think grabbing works. Oh wait, it does. Cool. And the animation is almost
you
there.
see that?
Sort of.
5%. Yeah, it should be working. It's nothing amazing, but it's let's see, 21. A bit faster. Label. Is the animation accurate here?
I'd say so. Does it go green, yellow, red, or are you going to cause car accidents?
It goes. So right now it goes from yellow. Okay, I think the order is off here. So we want red, yellow, green. And then I think
I'm glad that you're a web developer and not a civil engineer.
That's right. Green. I messed up the rect order. Okay, I'm gonna turn auto updating back on. Come on, where's the animation? You might need to refresh to just make sure we're synced up. Why is it? Okay, there we go. So green goes to yellow, yes. Goes to red, goes to green.
I think the wrong lines are highlighted.
Yes, yeah, I'm working on that. We could have been better with the labels for the names, A, B, C, and D. I think this is what we want. Green, no. Okay, so green is B. B to C should be first, right? But that is not what what's happening. Yeah, right now I'm doing them, just trying to do them in order so we can use sibling count, but that's proving to be problematic because I can't. C to A.
And I'm going to give them better names too. Well, all right, so we have A, B, C, D. All right, things are going to break a little bit because I'm just going to make these better names.
This one should be red, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's red.
That was... Red was S1A, I believe. Okay, yeah. So, let's see if I could change S1A to red. And then S1B was yellow. S1C was green.
This one should be green. And then this one should be yellow.
Oh. Oops. Okay.
There we go.
I think that's good now. And then we could drag them around. Cool. Okay. And then I'm gonna add a couple better colors. Let's see, where's...
All right, so we should be doing red, yellow, green. Ah, darn. So X is C and A.
Let's see, where's my box? Will that work? Let's see. Okay, let's see. We have that.
B to C should be our first one here. Let's move that up.
All right, let's get rid of these. Sorry, I'm just doing some surgery for here. Okay. And then just it's gonna do the background, which should be this panel. Okay, fine. We'll add these. Let's see. Okay, a little bit nicer colors.
Yeah. Will you help me with the lines here? I'm getting a bit lost. So this one should be yellow to green. I'm just gonna adjust the labels so that I can see.
Yeah, but that'll make things easier for sure.
Yeah, and then this should be A to B. This should be red to green. And then this one should be yellow to red. Okay. All right, so...
All right, so the yellow one should animate with yellow to green, or yeah, yellow to green, and then wait, why is it yellow? This is what happens when you don't have directed edges, like nice arrows. But that's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Red. Dang it. Red to green should be last, right? Why is that not working? Okay, red to green. Green. Red. Man, my animations are all jacked up.
It's okay. Here, let me try to dig in and see what's going on. Let's see, 0 to 20%, 21 to 100%, and each of these are doing them at different intervals. Wait, yeah, it should be like 33%, right?
Yeah.
Remember 33.333333, and then this one is no. That's we must be precise.
Okay. And so
okay, so and you're using sibling index, which is really cool. That's a new one. Actually, yeah, that's probably the newest trick of all of the tricks here. So calc sibling index times var duration times -1 gives the first box a -4-second delay. So it's already 4 seconds into the cycle. Let's see. So let's see. It has to be. Ooh.
Yeah, I think my offset there is wrong. It maybe
I think we have an
off
by 1 issue. Let's try this. All right, then that, then that. Okay, I think that's it.
You think so?
Try it.
We got okay. So we got
red. We were off by 1.
It's still all jacked up to me.
Oh.
If we do so, the total delay is going to be this. So if we do sibling count times -1, and then we do times sibling index divided by sibling count plus our duration times that, and then let's remove this part.
I don't think that SCSS stuff is going to fly there.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's try this out.
So refresh. No, it doesn't look like it's right at all. Let me inspect. Let's see what's going on. Animation delay is not calculating correctly.
Man, this is very mathy.
Yeah. What's a more direct way to do it?
All right, so we have animation, activate, sibling counts. sibling count times the duration, so it would be 12 seconds. Linear. And then
So trying to do full delay with negative, but then we want to add in maybe just this is all we need. That's looking right. Hey,
yeah,
I might have gotten it.
There we go.
I'm shortening the delay so we can see. Ah, amazing. Okay, let's bump that back up and let's comment out our little deals here.
All right.
And then I think we're good to go. Anything else you want to do on this one?
No, I'm good with this. It already melted my brain.
Ah, yes, my brain is fully melted. You think we can even show what we did here?
In a way, like we could summarize, and I had to take a few notes on like which concepts we're dealing with here, so we could talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, let me just do a little bit here. And let me see if we reset. It gets a little weird resetting them, but I'll patch that so that there's a good default when you land on it. But yeah, we can bring this to a close. Oh my gosh, David, what did we do here?
We made a state machine with CSS, and in the process, we learned or applied so many new CSS things. We were basically trying to jam pack everything that we missed out on in the last however many years since we've done the last keyframers, and there is a lot of new stuff. And honestly, it's exciting because it opens the door for possibilities, new UIs to build, things that you could do with just CSS like we did over here. The only JavaScript we're using is to drag the states. That's pretty much it.
Yep.
Everything else is CSS.
Amazing.
And HTML, of course.
And we have this deployed live at statemachine.me, so you can check it out and play with it yourself. We'll have the link to the pin and everything as well. But yeah, so we're using a lot of new CSS properties here. We're using anchors to kind of connect everything with a lot of complicated math to actually make these connecting lines. But the basic principles behind anchor is pretty straightforward. You're applying an anchor to an element, and then other elements reference that anchor to position themselves. We used to have a little badge element, but that's gone now. But the basics of connecting all of these are with these rect elements. We've got the top, left, bottom, and right. Did we remove the after element?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we're hiding that.
Yes.
But if we add those back in, you can see a little bit more of what's going on. Oh, it's display none.
Yep.
There we go. So you can see we've got these rectangles that are connecting between the center points of all of them. And then David is using some complicated math to make border shapes for each of those.
It's not so much math. It's really, if you're used to making SVG paths, where it's like move here, draw a line here, move there, it feels very, very similar over here, except you're doing it in CSS's interesting syntax instead of using SVG path.
Man,
I'm sure
Yeah.
there's a way to do SVG path too, but also it seems that it seems pretty complicated in that like these things are just bending the correct way and attaching to the right thing, but we are using another trick, which is the scale inversion to sort of just give it a mirror image. And so these are actually literally mirror imaged so that it just points the right direction without us having to recalculate all of that math.
That's very clever.
Yeah.
Uh,
And yeah,
yeah.
so there's other things like container type size, our CQH and CQW units, and using sign to cleverly hide boxes when they are zero heights. There's also branching, so we're using the if property. We're just doing so much. Stephen is using sibling count and sibling index for the animation. And before, we were actually just putting that in the HTML as a CSS variable and having it read from that.
Yeah.
So this makes a lot more sense. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here, but we're eager to explore some of these new properties and come up with some really clever uses for them. Big thanks to David for doing his research here, his homework, and helping us get going here. And thanks to Tamani for the amazing inspiration with all of their clever node calculations. So we'll have links to all those things and links to the deployed site and the pin with the code, and it's pretty amazing. Any final thoughts here, David?
Nope, just exciting to get back into it.
Yes,
Now my
for
brain
sure.
hurts.
Mine too. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. Again, this is the launch day of CodePen 2.0. So if you go to codepen.io/2, you can see an amazing landing page with information about what's new, and get in there and you can create some amazing things just like David and I. But yeah, we look forward to hanging out with y'all some more, and we'll catch you next time.
See you all.
Adios, amigos.